Hello again everyone. So I'm here again today to do the next video on my request list. My videos have been a bit slow coming lately because my books. So Remember Your Life Purpose is out and I've just ordered my author copies for Remember Your Talent. So 2 out of my 3 books of my trilogy is out on Amazon. You can search for the book name, Remember Your Life Purpose or Remember Your Talents, or you can just search for my name on Amazon, Katie Ewers. Don't forget Youers and Katie with an IE. Both these books that I've worked so hard on and it's actually been the cause of my video delays. But I'm really proud of them and I hope some of you guys get a chance to take a look at them. Right, so now this subject today is going to be the focus of my book 3 because it's all about the soul urge. It's all about your motivations. My book 1 was all about the life purpose, life path and birthday number. Book 2 is about the expression number and then the other talent numbers like the maturity number, the intensifiers, and how that affects the life path. My third book is going to be about how the motivation number supports or doesn't support so much the life path number. So today I'm talking about how the all-important life path 3 is supported by a soul urge 5. Now this client is really, or this person's really fortunate because the best soul urge to have when you're a life path 3 is a soul urge 3 or a soul urge 5, because the 3 and 5 are quite similar in their vibration. The life path 5 is emotional, creative expression, like what you express through your art, through acting, through singing, through performance, through your creative artistry, through painting, through sculpture, showing your emotions through your creativity. The soul urge 5 is about performance too, but it's very much about the technicalities of communication. So when you have a soul urge number 5, you really want to perform and communicate with others. And the elements of the soul urge number 5 really support many elements of the life path 3. So you're going to be strongly motivated to help you achieve your life path 3, which can only be a good thing. The difficulty would have been if you would have had a soul urge 4 with a life path 3. That's where your motivation is going to be your biggest problem. But for you, it's not your motivation that isn't going to be the issue, because the 3 is dynamic and emotional and communicative and expressive, and so is the 5 to a very much degree. There's just some little niggly differences between these two energies, but they're very supportive of each other. So let's get started. What I'm going to do is talk about what you're here to achieve when you're a life path 3. Remember, this is the most important number in your chart, and every other number on your chart supports to exist this life path number. Support, or did I say exist to support? Did I say that the wrong way around? Every number on your in your toolbox exists to support your life path number and your sub lesson in the birthday number. So we're going to talk about what your talents and motivations are, not your talents, your motivations, and what your purpose is. And then I'm going to start breaking down the life path 3 and seeing how the soul urge 5 works with each element of the life path 3. So when you're a life path 3, you're here to learn to be more emotionally positive, positive verbal expression, positive authentic emotion, creativity, learning to be a confident emotional performer, speaker, creative artist in sculpture or whatever you can create with your hands, or even performance with your body, stuntmen, people on skateboards that fly up ramps. This is all performance. Dancers, this is all physical or emotional creative expression. And it's a huge umbrella that you can express your life path 3 through. You've got to be interdependent because the 3 can be about a bit dependent sometimes. You've got to be dynamic. You've got to be more courageous. You've got to be a doer. You've got to take action. You've got to execute ideas when you're a life path 3. You've got to listen to guidance. You've got to take responsibility for all your actions, because as a 3, you're likely to be very spontaneous. And with the soul urge number 5, you're likely to want to be very spontaneous and energetic. So you need that responsibility, because the motivation number isn't always going to support your responsibility, because the 5 isn't really about responsibility. So really important that certain elements of your life path 3 are going to be supported and some elements not so much. So you're going to have to pay extra attention to those elements. So taking responsibility is going to be a biggie. Being a skilled networker, you've got the motivation to do that, to be opportunistic, to be talkative, and to be fun to be around. You're motivated to do that. So there's lots of elements where your soul urge number is going to support your life path. You love to learn many subjects when you're a soul urge 5, including spiritual topics. You engage in varied experience, and you're looking for your passion and your mastery. You're looking at all these different subjects to find a subject or a passion that really gets you and makes you want to dig that little bit deeper. And you're looking for that mastery. You're passionately driven to find that mastery. You want freedom when you're a 5. You don't necessarily, when you're a soul urge 5, you don't necessarily want to be employed or in a family or tied down by anything. You want to be a master of all you purvey and free to do what you want, really, when you're a soul urge number 5. And this can cause you to be a bit spontaneous and a bit loopy sometimes. You're going to have a lot of fun, but you won't always take the sensible route when you're motivated to be a life path 3. You want to balance variation and adventure. That's what you're looking for, but you can be really adventurous and really scatty because that's what you're motivated to be. You prefer to be focused and committed to one subject to mastery. So you're always looking for that mastery. You're like looking at varied subjects. And even if you found your mastery, you've still got that passion for adventure and looking at varied subjects. So you still might sometimes have to balance your need for adventure and research and looking at different subjects with your focus on your mastery and your passion that you've chosen. You're passionate about performance and communication, which is really definitely supportive of your life path 3. And you're driven to be fearless. You love to encourage others to be fearless as well. So many elements of the soul urge number 5 is going to support many elements of the life path 3. But let's break that life path 3 down and see where it's going to work the best and where you might need a bit of extra work. So as a life path 3, most importantly, you're here, well, creative and emotional is important as well. So you're here to learn, to express yourself verbally, to inspire others, to inform others like a teacher, and delight and entertain, make people laugh, make people feel good. Because a 3, they can struggle in some way verbally. Sometimes they can be chronically shy, may be speech delays or even a stutter, or just language issues where you struggle to find the right words to say when you want them. And this is one of the biggest elements of the life path 3 that is a struggle for a life path 3. But you're motivated in the 5 to communicate, to speak, and to write, which is really going to support your difficulties in the life path 3, because you want to speak, you want to write, you want to communicate. And if you didn't, it wouldn't support this element of your life path. So answer your motivation there to really develop yourself verbally. You're driven to perform or write for audience, or both. You could speak verbally, or you could write books or articles or whatever you wanted to. You're fearless, very much a free thinker, so you'd be able to speak in front of people quite confidently when you're a motivated 5. Of course, it matters what your talent numbers are, because just because you want to be able to do it doesn't mean you've got the talent numbers straight away. You might need to work towards that depending on what your talent numbers are. So support your life path 3 by answering your drive to communicate verbally to audiences, to inspire people, to teach and inform, and to delight and lift up audiences or the people around you. And this is going to be an easier element for you to be motivated to do. Of course, remember, you've always got to look at your talent numbers as well to see if that element is going to be helpful to you for this. So you're here to learn also, not just verbally, but to be very creative, to express yourself creatively, to inspire and inform and delight, because you might struggle to progress. A lot of threes feel that they're not creative at all. They tell themselves they're not creative, and then they tell themselves their work isn't good enough. So due to this lack of self-belief, they can really hold themselves back. And that's the second difficulty of the 3 life path. Your 5 motivation and drive means you love to be creative, first of all. So that's step 1. You're motivated to be creative. You're passionately interested in a topic. And if you are passionately interested in a topic, and only if you're passionately interested in a topic or specialism or mastery, you'll be able to commit to that to the end, so that you can execute and complete and not procrastinate on creative projects. But until you find that passion, until you find that mastery and specialism in your motivation, you're going to struggle to want to at times finish all your creative projects, because you've got other little things you want to look at. Because 5s, until they find their mastery, they're too excited about looking towards the new, and they can sometimes neglect what they've started because they haven't found their passion and their mastery yet. But once they do, the Soul Urge 5 can really focus, sometimes obsessively, on what they're doing. So supporting that life path 3, find your drive, your passion, your subject, your focus, your mastery, and make it your specialism, that you communicate creatively with your body, hands, words, speech, anything, to inspire, inform and delight. And, there's so many ways that you can be creative, and there's so many ways that you can communicate. The possibilities are endless. So you're motivated to be creative in many ways when you're a Soul Urge 5. Check out that talent number and the maturity and the intensifiers to see what other support you might need, because this element's doing quite good when it comes to these 2 numbers. You've got to learn to be dynamic, take risks, be more confident, enjoy the attention of an audience, or enjoy the limelight rather than running away and hiding because you don't feel confident enough. The third element of the life path 3 that a life path 3 will find difficult is taking risks and being happy to talk and be in the limelight and show people what they do. They can be underconfident and just feel unable to take risks in any way, shape or form. Again, the drive and motivation in the Soul Urge 5 means you are driven to be dynamic and fearless. So again, another supporting element. You want, as a 5, you hate being cautious as a motivated 5. You want to throw caution to the wind. You love risk and excitement and adventure, almost to the point sometimes where you can injure yourself and sometimes others through the unthought out activities and the excitement, but you'll have a darn good time and have a great deal of fun doing it if you don't kill yourself doing it. You're happy in front of an audience. You can be the center of attention. In fact, as a Soul Urge 5, you like to be the center of attention. And this is a key thing, a key supporting element for a nervous life path 3, for them to be confident and actually enjoy the limelight of an audience. So support your life path 3 by answering that drive you have to be a confident, dynamic performer in whatever creative or verbal or emotional medium you choose to express, taking intuitive risks to progress every step of the way, because you're not going to progress without taking some risks. And luckily you're motivated in the 5 to do just that. In fact, what you might find is with a motivation in the 5 to take risks and be spontaneous and dynamic, and a life path 3 that needs to be, sometimes you're going to make some difficult decisions that maybe weren't so quite thought out. And sometimes those decisions, those actions that may not have had any negative or intention behind them, but because of irresponsibility and lack of forethought, sometimes things can happen that don't go quite as well. Anyway, we're going to get to that. The soul urge number 5 is a motivated entrepreneur as well. And one of the elements of the 3 is developing as a creative entrepreneur, to be able to promote their creativity and network and make money creatively with their creative, emotional and verbal expression. But of course, like I said, 3s procrastinate and don't believe in themselves, and 3s can really struggle to stay focused. And with a motivated 5, if they haven't found their passion yet, that's going to be exacerbated, and they're really going to struggle to focus enough to progress their life path 3. So you're driven to work for yourself as a motivated 5. So there's tick 1. You're an entrepreneurial go-getter as far as your passion and motivation is concerned. Obviously, your talents are obviously a big part of this as well, but that's a different video. You want to communicate. You love to network and promote with people, with your, especially when you have your passion and mastery. You will love even more communicating your passion and mastery, you know, to support your life path 3. And again, until you find that passion, that focus, that mastery, that specialism that you can work on towards mastery and personal freedom, you are going to struggle to stay focused on one thing or work on one thing consistently. So it's important that you find that passion and then communicate it, promote it and network it to death until you've developed as an entrepreneur, because you've got that ability. I keep saying ability. I'm going to give myself a slap. You've got the motivation to really push yourself as an entrepreneur. You're here to learn to express your emotions positively. Now, a motivated 5 loves drama, unfortunately, for you as an emotional 3. As an emotional 3 that you need to get past, you can be extremely sensitive to criticism. Other people's emotions, you can be a bit of a sponge for other people's emotions, causing you then to express your emotions negatively in response. Your 5 drive and motivation means that you're driven to express your emotions passionately, but you might not always be driven to express them positively. Sometimes a bit of negative expression, you quite enjoy it because you love to create a bit of drama when you're a motivated 5. You can be quite wired and uptight and argumentative, and sometimes even find a bit of drama and conflict fun, or starting conflict and drama between others and then watching it pop, you know. So and then the life path number 3, when they're confronted by the fact that they've been a bit of a drama queen, they will explode too, and it could end up a bit of a drama emergency. So this is where there could be another little hiccup. Apart from taking responsibility and making sure that you don't make rash actions, is also making sure you express your emotions in a positive way and not use your emotions and your drama as an ability to create some excitement in your life, which is what some motivated 5s might do if they don't feel they're getting enough excitement or drama in their life. So support your life path 3 by working on your drama queen tendencies and expressing yourself positively to others, positive emotions to others around you, your social group, your family, and your audience. Okay, because remember, as a soul urge 5, you just want to express yourself, and it's not necessarily focused for you on whether it's positive or negative. You just like to have fun, perform and create emotions, and you know, drama queen mentality, you know, the sort of thing that can really disrupt and make everyone roll their eyes. So there could be an issue with drama queen issues here for this client to look into. So you're here to develop the habit of taking action. You know, the 3 can fail to act. They can struggle with apathy and low confidence. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not creative enough. I can't do it. Low emotions. They can be depressive. Remember, life path 3s can experience quite a lot of negative emotion in their life. And it's important that they express positive emotion and take action and not allow low confidence to stop them from acting and executing their ideas. So your 5, motivation and drive, means that you prefer to act, express and perform and do. You're not really a sit-down theorizer, a thinker, a planner. You're a passionate go-getter, very energetic, wants to get out there, see people and do things. You're an adventurer and a traveller, passionate and motivated to travel and get out there and do fun things. You love novelty and new experience. You're a chatterbox and you love to communicate and write, or both, to be perfectly honest. So you're going to act when it comes to socializing and communicating and focusing or finding your passion. So support your life path 3 by acting on your creative passion once you've found it and your specialism, and put direction and focus into your creative passion, and don't allow your love of adventure to steer you too far away from your need in the life path 3 to take action. Okay, so your motivation is really going to support your need to act, but it's important that you focus that action on your specialism, making sure you're focusing on your creativity, on your expression. You're here to learn to be social, talkative. You know, when you've got to be a 3 and you've got to spread a message, you've got to be able to be confident and talk to people around you, be the life of the party, be a bringer of fun and positivity, a networker, a communicator, spreading your emotional, creative expression and message to the world, because that's what you're here to achieve. You can be a bit quiet and struggle to speak to others. Your motivation and drive in the 5 energy means you love people, you love to be social, you love to chat, you love to have fun with those around you. Again, supporting this social element of your life path. You're driven and motivated to inject fun and camaraderie into every situation, telling stories, meeting new people. You love all that, and it all supports your life path 3. So keep going on that, keep doing that. You've got to develop interdependence. Life path 3s love at times to be looked after, and they can often think that they should be like doing their own thing and don't really think about who's going to pay their bills, and hope that other people might do that for them, because they can be prone to work avoidance because they hate routine and they hate committing to one thing, excuse me. Letting my tea go cold, my British cup of tea. So your 5 motivation energy wants to be free and independent. So your 3-ness can be a bit dependent, and your 5 motivation wants to be independent and free and doing your own thing. So your only fear when you're a motivated 5 is dependence. And it's clearly part of your life path 3 that you might end up being dependent. So this is a big thing for this client, because your only fear is dependence on other people. But your lack of motivation to commit as a 5, especially if you haven't found your mastery, can bring on the dependence that you fear, especially when you're a life path 3 who is already prone to dependence and routine avoidance, struggling to commit to one job or one group of tasks that brings you more into independence. So this is not going to be an easy one, but to support your life path 3, and whatever your talent numbers are, let's hope they're supportive of this element. Embrace all of our inherent interconnectedness in the world. Learn to give and receive equally, not to be dependent or too independent, to understand that we're all interdependent and we need to give and receive and lean on each other for support. One man can't get things done, but when we all work together, great things can be achieved. And it's important for this client to understand that. You are prone as a life path 3 towards dependence. You're terrified as a motivated 5 of that dependence. But you will bring that dependence on unless you understand that we are inherently interconnected, and that you find that commitment, that motivation to focus on something enough that will eventually bring you independence and eventually interdependence. You're here to be opportunistic as a 3. to be confident, connect with people, be a bit of a, you know, a Wolf of Wall Street kind of character, networking, opportunistic, making useful connections, snapping up opportunities, spreading the words, progressing ideas and projects. You know, very, very much a go-getter. And of course, as a motivated soul urge number 5, you are a motivated go-getter. You're motivated to get out there and be opportunistic. You love new opportunities as a 5, new subjects, new people. You're likely as a 5, before you find your mastery, and maybe even after you find your mastery, to want to scratch the surface of many opportunities, many topics, many ideas, many subjects. Driven to look at everything, but not always driven to progress and focus down on these opportunities unless they're part of your mastery and your passion. So again, support that life path 3 by being the opportunistic person that you need to be. Network, communicate, make those new connections you need to make, and you're motivated to do that. Then ensure that you must find that focus and progress and take full advantage of these opportunities and connections that you're making, rather than making them and not focusing enough to use them. Because otherwise, all these opportunities and connections that you make will all fall by the wayside unless you put that commitment and focus into bringing them forward. Taking responsibility, as I've already touched on and spoken about, you know, sometimes the 3 can be a bit irresponsible. They don't always think before they act, and it's because they're so dynamic and creative and fun-loving. It means sometimes that they can fail to be cautious enough, and sometimes they can do things that maybe if they'd spent a bit of time thinking about it, they might not have done it. But of course, it's part of being a dynamic 3 that sometimes you say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, and it's learning to find some balance there so that you think before you act, so that you take responsibility for what you do. So your 5 motivation, your drive, this isn't going to be good for you. You love to have fun, you love to experience, and you're not interested in responsibility to others. As far as you're concerned, you're just having a laugh, and if they're going to grizzle about it, that ain't your problem. That's very much the attitude of a motivated 5. You like being, you certainly don't like being guided by others. In fact, anyone telling you what to do is a complete aversion to a motivated 5. And you're going to rebel definitely against any enforced responsibility. You know, you're just not going to do it. And it could be an issue. So support your life path 3 by learning to commit to becoming more responsible for what you do, responsible to those around you, and taking responsibility for the consequences of your very dynamic and sometimes very spontaneous actions as a life path 3. Very, very important. Now, there's a couple of elements there that it needs to be worked on for the life path 3, but really by and large, the motivation number 5 is really, really supportive to really drive the achievement of the life path 3. Now, I hope you found this video useful today. If you would like to book a reading with me, please send me an email or contact me on social media, or even speak to me through comments on my videos. I teach numerology on Udemy and one-to-one if you'd like it. Contact me personally if you'd like some one-to-one tuition. But I also have 2 courses on Udemy, a foundations and a master's course for master readers. And the books that I've written really support master readers to learn numerology deeply, as well as finding your own purpose and talents and passions. You're going to be able to read for others with these books. So if you want to order them or ask me any questions about them, let me know. You can request videos, contact me, ask me questions. But yeah, if you'd like a reading or you'd like any more information about my books or learning how to be a numerologist, just drop me a line. I'll be happy to answer any questions for you. So as ever, I want you guys to trust the soul within you, because only your own soul knows what's best for you. Happy Saturday.